Our board noted that His Excellency's victory as the African Political Leader of the Year 2023 is a testament to his contributions to promoting peace, African culture and development, youth and sports development, and advancing Africa's agenda globally. It is also a recognition of his critical role in the infrastructural and socio-economic development of his country as well as his people-friendly policies. He has continued to advocate for peace and free and fair elections in the ECOWAS sub-region, and this was demonstrated by a show of statesmanship and iconic posturing by accepting electoral loss and congratulating the winner. While he arguably had options as a sitting president, he chose the path of honor, peace, and the defense of democracy. His emergence reaffirms our position that he has remained one of the continent's leading light, as he had continued to demonstrate great faith in the African project, promoting African dignity and helping to change the negative narratives about the continent.
Before we could become journalists today, we are citizens. If there is no way that our country is safe, we cannot practice in our respective professions. When we are at war, pastors will not be respected to go to church to preach. When we are at war, medical doctors will not be able to go to hospitals except on a coercion or sanitary condition. When we are at war, lawyers will not be able to go to court to practice. That's why when you see these things happening, whether you are a lawyer, whether you are working a profession, you got to step down and protect your country, so that that country will provide an avenue for you to be the kind of person that you want to be. And that's where we are now. What happened on yesterday was wrong. It's still wrong. And no matter what it is wrong. We are seeing things happening in this country, and people are now seeing it as being right because the Asa is there. And these are things that we got to be stand up. To be a patriot, you have to stand first on the side of the law, because the politicians will go away. The regime will pass away, but your country will stay. The law will stay. Your patriotism vow will continue to stay on. And these are things that we got to stand up for. It doesn't matter how people feel, what kind of side you want to be on. We just got to speak to the truth, and that is very much important.
I see in the next few months a nicer country, a very noisy country, rowdy country, a heavily divided country, a very tough economy, a sense of elitism by those who are coming at the hem of authority. The coming in of the Unity Party is going to multiply the economic woes, the economic conundrum, the economic quagmire, the suffering of the Liberian people is going to multiply. We are not prophets of doom, but the reality will come.
Mr. President, recently we witnessed the demolition of the CDC headquarters in Congo Town, which was carried out through a court order. How does your administration ensure that such enforcement action don't fairly and without political interference?
The law is the law. It's not the government. It's the government implementation of the law. The police were ordered to do it, and they did it. Is that demolition is removal of the people from premises that don't belong to them according to the law.
What will George Weah, who is tempted by Joseph Boakai, who was drowning in his Egypt land, who was dead, very red up, dirty, stink, you could find him passing around, particularly dead and useless. What will such a man conduct make you Weah vex that you will struck the work and then lose God's own mission to take you to the promised land? That was the test of time today for George Weah. If George Weah had reacted, you are falling in the place of Moses.
The Liberian National Police commenced the Congress for Democratic Change for the discipline, calm, and statesmanship demonstrated during the recent eviction process. Their respect for the rule of law, despite the deep sentimental value and history attached to the property, reflects a maturity that strengthens Liberia's democracy. This movement is not only a testament to CDC's leadership, but also a reminder to all political institutions and citizens that our democracy grows stronger when lawful decisions are honored peacefully.
Today, you have a rebel police director who thinks that he has arrived. And the worst thing about all these people, they all benefited from the magnanimity of George Weah. When benching from people on the bench of the Supreme Court. They got letters from George Weah. In the previous administration, when Weah came, he also got another letter again. What he chooses to do, what he's doing is up to him. But one thing I can tell you for sure is this is how we had always been molded. That's how God has already molded Weah and catapult him into success. He will suffer rejection, denigration, humiliation. That has been his life. How can you make somebody who has been down the line their shame? The person has gone through shame. They have gone through disgrace. They have done everything they cared. Whatever people thought and were laughing at them, they surmount everything and catapult themselves into becoming someone who is towering that the whole world can look at today. What more can you do? You think you're bringing that person down? You're just hurting yourself. In fact, what you are doing, you are destroying yourself. You know what it takes for you to proud in yourself of being bad? When people are looking for good image, you are happy in becoming a bad person. George Weah would never, ever buy in to your tricks. A bad person, George Weah would never, ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never, ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never, ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never, ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never, ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never, ever buy in to your tricks. He would never, ever.
There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. But I can tell you, this is a bad example.
George Weah would never, ever buy in to your tricks. He would never, ever.
There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. But I can tell you, this is a bad example.
George Weah would never, ever buy in to your tricks. He would never, ever.
There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. But I can tell you, this is a bad example.
George Weah would never, ever buy in to your tricks. He would never, ever.
The investigation found that on Friday, June 5th, 6 boxes were prepared for shipment through the cargo system at the Roberts International Airport. The shipment was processed under Ford's description of ordinary goods, declaring it to be Maggie Cube and Lapa. But from the beginning, there were already red flags, discrepancies in the declared weight of the product, suspicion from the screening images, and conflicted shipment documentation. Because of those discrepancies, the cargo did not leave as planned on June 5th. On Sunday, June 7, 2026, when the boxes were rescanned and physically inspected, a white powdery substance was discovered concealed in them. A substance was immediately turned over to the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency. It was subsequently tested and confirmed to be cocaine. But the investigation did not stop at seizure. The Joint Special Investigative Team examined the cargo trail, the airway bill. The cargo did not leave as planned on June 5th. On Sunday, June 7, 2026, when the boxes were rescanned and physically inspected, a white powdery substance was discovered concealed in them. A substance was immediately turned over to the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency. It was subsequently tested and confirmed to be cocaine.
Before we could become journalists today, we are citizens. If there is no way that our country is safe, we cannot practice in our respective professions. When we are at war, pastors will not be respected to go to church to preach. When we are at war, medical doctors will not be able to go to hospitals except on a coercion or sanitary condition. When we are at war, lawyers will not be able to go to court to practice. That's why when you see these things happening, whether you are a lawyer, whether you are working on a profession, you got to step down and protect your country so that that country will provide an avenue for you to be the kind of person that you want to be. And that's where we are now. What happened on yesterday was wrong. It's still wrong. And no matter what it is wrong. We are seeing things happening in this country, and people are now seeing it as being right because the Asa is there. And these are things that we got to be stand up. To be a patriot, you have to stand first on the side of the law, because the politicians will go away. The regime will pass away, but your country will stay. The law will stay. Your patriotism vow will continue to stay on. And these are things that we got to stand up for. It doesn't matter how people feel, what kind of side you want to be on. We just got to speak to the truth, and that is very much important.
His Excellency, George Weah, President of Liberia. Our board noted that His Excellency's victory as the African Political Leader of the Year 2023 is a testament to his contributions to promoting peace, African culture and development, youth and sports development, and advancing Africa's agenda globally. It is also a recognition of his critical role in the infrastructural and socio-economic development of his country, as well as his people-friendly policies. He has continued to advocate for peace and free and fair elections in the ECOWAS sub-region, and this was demonstrated by a show of statesmanship and iconic posturing by accepting electoral loss and congratulating the winner. While he arguably had options as a sitting president, he chose the path of honor, peace, and the defense of democracy. His emergence reaffirms our position that he has remained one of the continent's leading light, as he had continued to demonstrate great faith in the African project, promoting African dignity and helping to change the negative narratives about the continent.
Good afternoon, people. Thank you so very kindly that you join us. Real Talk Kings 88.5 on this 29th day of July 2026, the reign of Judah Christopher Nebuchadnezzar. Another day, another time, another afternoon, people. Welcome. I'm Sam Andrews. As always, Sam Andrews. Grateful we are to God Almighty, the creator and sustainer of the universe, the God who keeps watch over each and every person, faithful in all of his ways, never reneging on his promises, but fulfilling every word that he altered in the fullness of his time. We are grateful. And thank you too, great people, for coming on. We appreciate your presence as always. We are motivated by it. Let's bring on few of you. Time is of the essence, and then we get started, and then we are out. Boima Kiadi, Ambassador Walter Morgan Jr., CDC regular intellectual militant, Musa Sharif, Congo Town, Rose Nimlem Bele, Fifth Kevin Bappin, Nimba United Community, Silva, Washington, Bravo City, Susanna Ngali, Tobasi, Roberto Richards, Benita Undebi, Johnsonville, Uptown, Jeremiah Destiny Loy, Jasper Jaffa, Minnesota, USA, Aweli City, Police Academy, good. Louis Logan, Gumpat City, Nimba County, Doka James, Johnsonville, Emmanuel Broad, Minnesota, USA, Isaac Kangbi, Gunta, Nimba County, Hilton, Wulajedo, Greenville City, Sino County, Saturday Woodward, Atlanta, Georgia, USA, Paris Slober, New Jersey, USA, Rubin Cannon, James Wome, Folequele Town, where is that? Bon County, Montonian Son, Broadville, Emmanuel Quia, David Town, Bon County, Setu Jabo, Johnsonville, Emmanuel E.D. Samokai. From where? Hill around our IA. Okay, Dualu Samokai Town, around our IA, good. Juju One Way, Rising Sun TV, Dallas, Texas, USA, Charles Weir, Rita Christine Hates, Massachusetts, USA. My dear sister Rita Sonny Choir, hope that you are faring well. Hope that you are good. Thank you ever so much for everything. Jumun Corley, Jukon Tichie, Titus, Vencia, Johnsonville, Cogway Weeder, Magibi County, and the list just running down. Crana Coleman, Samuel Flomo, Bon County, Senior Town, and the names just can't stop flowing down. Cecilia Logan, Germany, great. All right. All of you great people, man. You are so great, so massive, so extraordinary. Thank you all for coming on. Let's have a wonderful info time together. Let's start out of Liberia briefly. Then we face what we've got on our plate, and that we'll be doing it for today in this mystery culture under the Unity Party government. United Nations experts say Boeing planes linked to the business network of a U.S. military contractor were used to transport fighters, weapons, and drones to Sudan's rapid support forces. According to a draft UN report saying by the BBC, the aircraft carry RSF fighters, foreign mercenaries, and military equipment to areas controlled by the paramilitary group. The report is based on information from 2 eyewitnesses in Yala, the RSF main base in Darfur, and 2 UN member states. BBC investigation had earlier traced 3 Boeing aircraft linked to companies associated with former U.S. soldier and government contractor Stephen Solitz. Nigeria's High Commissioner designate to South Africa, Femin Kayode, has condemned the alleged killing of a Nigerian man by South African police. Femin Kayode said a secretly recorded video appeared to show officers beating and suffocating the man with a plastic bag inside his home. He described the incident and targeting of Nigerians in South Africa as unacceptable and called for those responsible to be prosecuted. Femin Kayode said he raised the issue during talks with South Africa's foreign minister, where both countries agreed to reduce tensions and strengthen relations. He also claimed that at least 90 Nigerians have been killed in South Africa since 2022 by mobs, anti-foreigner groups, and security officers, including 6 this year. Those figures have not been independently confirmed, the BBC says. And Equatorial Guinea and Gabon have signed an agreement to end a decade-long dispute over 3 small islands in potentially oil and gas-rich waters. Following a ruling by the United Nations top court, the International Court of Justice ruled in May last year that the islands belong to Equatorial Guinea. The agreement signed at the African Union headquarters in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, commits both countries to respect the court's decision. Although the islands are turning and largely uninhabited, they are located in waters believed to contain valuable oil and gas reserves. The dispute dates back to colonial era treaties and had remained unresolved for decades. Those are but few of the many developments unfolding out of Liberia. Let's get to what we've got on our plate, but please share the show. This is the first pointer. Share the show as many times as you can. Share the show. That's what I need you to do. Our people around the world must know what is unfolding in Liberia. Unity Party is no longer controlling the narrative. We are controlling it. They are portraying it like they are in charge of the narrative. They know that the government is damaged. The credibility, the reputation of the government is damaged. The president does not have the face. The vice president and all of the officials of Unity Party do not have the face any longer. So they have engaged into distractions, into giving people the impression that they are on top of things, that they are working hard to dismantle, expose, and dismantle this cocaine that they confirm as cocaine, and they can go back on the word. So we are fully in control of the narratives right now. We are on the offensive, and a narrative is always on the offensive. Narrative is never on the defensive. So if you are a Unity Party person, please get to know that. Do your research politically and historically on that. We are in control of the narrative. We are determining the pace. They are working according to our dictate. We are keeping it alive. They are not telling, they are defending. Just look at it carefully and look at all of the political variables and tie it into the narrative. You'll get to know what I'm talking about. So share the show as many times as you can. Please let our people around the world know. Let's get started. Every government has its preference. Even though in opposition, they will condemn the government of the day. But every government has their preference. And when they come to power, they will do, if not the same, similar to what they condemned in the past. Yesterday, it was wrong. They had this thing all over the place, which former President Charles Taylor did. The only government that didn't do it because it was not fully a constitutionally democratic government, the interim government of Charles Judy Bryant, because it was a crisis management government. They were only trying to keep the atmosphere with the help of the United Nations, the African Union, the Organization of African Unity, the Mana River Union, and other regional bodies to keep Liberia atmosphere stable, because the country had just come or was coming out of a devastating war. So they had them in place. So you can consider that because they could not do anything. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf government, the Unity Party government, which President Boubacar served as vice president, did just that. And then came the CDC government. They did just that, which any government would do to beef up security around the president, the trained special, not to say that EPS is dismissive. But yesterday, the Unity Party in opposition then said that it was wrong. The CDC government was wasting the country money, and President Weah was training special forces to rig the election, and they had all kinds of descriptions. They had everything to say. Not second guessing I am, because I saw that regime from start to finish. Fast forward, Mr. Boakai is the most opulent president in Liberia's history. If you look at the president's convoy and compare it monetarily with his predecessors, he would top the list. Moreover, the star, look at the president's convoy. The president's convoy is more stylish. It's more stylish. What that means is he tries to give it, or he gave it that outlook that maybe he sensed from presidents within the region or in Europe or other places. So his convoy is the most expensive. You think that President Boakai convoy isn't expensive. No, President Boakai convoy is expensive, very expensive. Moreover, President Boakai convoy, the length of his convoy, if not the same, similar or more or longer than what he criticized yesterday. Yesterday, the argument was that President George Weah convoy was too long, as if that was something to make an issue about. They say the president convoy was very long. Did you see how Doumbouya go to Guinea for that Mano River meeting? Did you see his convoy? Not only that, but did you see how he went to that meeting? The president convoy today is the most expensive since the existence of Liberia. It's the longest, and it is the most stylish. The president, well, he enjoys. What do you see the president doing today? He had wanted to do that way, to live that way, but time did not afford him that. So since he's in his old age, he said, okay, let me enjoy, let me do this, let me do that. Look at his convoy. Besides that, Mr. President agreed that he should have a special force dressed like Ibrahim Traore men, like Doumbouya men, and whenever people, police or military, they dress like that, you know what it sends to the public? Dictatorship, despot, tyrant. And you can equate that to junta regime. Those guys are trained to unleash havoc at any time. Moreover, they are telling the rest of the people how it is going to be. They are showing the signs, or sometimes God allowed this to happen so people get to know and prepare ahead of time. That in 2029 or between 2027, 2028, because that will be close to the elections, they are showing exactly how it's going to be, how the special force, the military, and everybody around President Boakai going to be. They will be that they will appear ruthless, they will appear scary, scaring to the people, just everything. I want you to have a look. Here is this man who is president today. Or what did Yeke say? In one of Yeke's latest interviews, he said that he had a conversation at the time President Weah was still in power and they had this thing. He said they were having a conversation, and President Boubacar in opposition and told him that he should join the rest of the guy, rally a protest, rally the people to get on the street against former President George Weah. Listen, when I say this, you don't believe it. The devil makes you to feel that he is a figment of imagination, that he's not a wicked guy, he's not a bad guy, he's a good guy, but he operates from the back. And that's why they are the unholy trinity, very wicked. And that's how you see our president today. Don't see him like that. When people say, oh, President Boubacar, I don't know about the president, that is a blatant lie. Nobody should tell you that a president don't know. Even down to the petty things in the market, the president is aware. The president is brief. The president listens. The president reads. To say that the things happening in the country, the president is not aware, then you must be from a different world. He condemned this with his people yesterday and said George Weah was recruiting, or the man had sent certain people out of the country to be trained so that they would come back and they would rig the election and all kinds of stuff. Fast forward, here is Mr. Boubacar bought a guy, and they should tell you how 2029, if these guys are trained purposely for him, then imagine the rest of the people. You can have a president with these kinds of people. George Weah, no. George Weah did not have security. You go back to George Weah security and see what they had the marks all on them, like they're going on the war front or they're going into some kind of chemical den. Yeah, no. The people that the world knows, especially in Africa, that Traoré, a dictator, that Doumbouya, a dictator. Dictators are always afraid because of their dictatorial attitude, so they strengthen their security. 1, 2, that they will stay on in power. They train these people, they program them, they make them to look at you as animals, and they are ready to ill-treat you, to even slaughter at will. That is why in a democracy, even the great Donald Trump, look at Donald Trump's security. Do you see the kind of men around like this? You know why it poses? You know why it portrays, why it sends to. Yesterday, they seen people were yelling, oh, Joe, we are getting amen. What kind of play? The president, you go to the play, you see amen. I know for a fact because we heard them in opposition. And that's why when you sitting today, you're not talking, you're speechless, and you think these people are going to allow you democratically to do anything. They're not ready for anything democracy. And if you can stand up to face them now, well, don't even ask God to help you, because God does not help people who not ready to help themselves. You firstly act, then God finishes it. Look at these things. Look at these guys. A GMBO, a man security. Can you see it? Look at that, man. President Boubacar has outlived his youthfulness. 1, 2. In this country here, nobody get time for president. President can come up men war around. Nobody. The people are more protective of the president in this country. Whether in opposition or in establishment, while the people like the president, they are protective of the president than anything. Only insecure president or ruler, dictator, despot, tyrant can do this. Upon anything, look at it, research it from around the world. I don't just talk that they are researched before we come on the radio. That's the big difference between the other people and King's FM. We're not bragging. But our law said do not get on the air when you do not have all of the facts. Make sure that you do an extensive research so that you'll be factual of what you are saying. Look around. Look at Donald Trump's security and see whether you see these men like this. Look at other people, other presidents around. Look at the Russian president, Vladimir Putin. You don't see men like that. You see them in their court suit. You see that? But they are well trained, highly sophisticated. They know how to detect anything funny. You see, Do you see all kinds of armed men like this around Donald Trump, Vladimir Putin, how they call the French president, Emmanuel Macron? You see those guys have the move, but they have securities all around. Only African leaders, African rulers, rather, let me not say leaders, because leaders are those ones who don't move like this. Rulers. And what it portrays, they tell you that one, they are insecure. Two, they want to stay in power, or they are going to stay in power for eternity. So they train men. They pump so much in it. Does Bouaka need these kind of people? Nobody is after President Bouaka. Nobody. What's the fear? That in a democracy, a unique democracy of ours, what needed these people for what? Look at just the guerrillas. When people read the guerrillas, when they're ready to go to do their work, or like mercenaries, like hijackers. Do you need this? No, this is a democracy. Who wants to do what to president? Who wants to do what to president? Yeah. No one in this country has ever attempted anything on a president in this country. No one has attempted anything on a president. The people right now, seditions are not against President Bouaka. President Weah, their political leaders serve this country. They know that for a fact, and they hold that as a historical legacy. President Bouaka is there. They are not against President Bouaka, but they will express their democratic position based on the issues unfolding. All the places that President Bouaka will go to, they are not only Unity Party people, they are everybody. Seditions, UPs, CMCs, AMC, MPC, everybody. Everybody. So nobody is against a president in this country. The people love the president. Imagine President George Weah. If I beg you, you look at it, your goal. All of those things are on the internet. We're in the age of technology. President Weah will move into a crowd. One of those events was in New Georgia, was during the Capitan Gabriel Colette School. Some people got afraid, but you seditions don't know how Weah used to go in the midst of people shaking their hands, moving all around. You think Weah never had time for his security and safety? But he equally knew that this country, nobody have time for anything. This country is a safe place. This country, we make all our noise, but we still end up as being one. We just mean noise. We finish when I say noise, the real political debate. People started expressing after the gathering, say, President, we are taking breaks. So look at the man went into the crowd, shaking the crowd. And truly, the crowd called up President Weah. He was in the middle, shaking the people's hand from one end to another. President Weah got through, he walked out, he got in a car. I can name pretty close to 7, 8, 9, 10 events. EPS people were all around. Sometimes the crowd said will overwhelm the EPS people. They pushing people here and there. We are moving. No one day ever heard say somebody attempted in a crowd to attack the president. Since President Bouaka came, no one will ever, it will ever happen. Maybe it'll be in the next one. And even in the next one will not happen because the next one will be totally different from this one. So why are you feeling so insecure as president in your own country? You're feeling insecure. This is insecurity. Why you feel afraid in your own country? Yesterday, you said your predecessor was training people. And you said the people he was training to rig the election. Thank God you didn't say to overly protect him. But he said rigged election was not true. All the claims they brought against George Weah, not true. They're based on that. They say, oh, when they were in opposition, they were controlling the narrative. They were more propagandistic. So today, now, none of those things they can do are giving a hard time. What do you need? Look at, for what? These people, they just waste time, pay them good money, they just run. At least they're doing their job. But as a president, you don't need this. You know what I mean? You get these kind of people around you, people be afraid. Even government officials seeing these kind of people, they are afraid. What are you training for? You're already of age. You're already of age. Nothing extra there again. What do you try to prove? At least if you were in your prime, you say, yes, the president got a longer way to go. The man, a young man, he did that. But nothing there. Nothing there. What are you afraid for? What are you afraid for? You're keeping all these guys. Look at them. No wonder why many people were not at that gathering in Bassa. Because the ordinary people, the people that you call ordinary people, those commoners, seeing this kind of thing, you know why they keep the military off the citizens' eyes? That's one of the reasons. By the time the people see people like this, they see guns all over the place. They're moving into. They feel afraid. They feel that anytime something can happen, they'll start shooting and they might die. So they don't want to die. That is the reason, you see, people always careful. If that be the case, the military will be all around. That's one of the reasons the military of not solely because, they avoid politics and other stuff. But yes, that's true. But this is one of the reasons. Put the military also now, let them be all over the place, and you will see. Between 4:35, the whole city, everywhere you see them, they're gone. You know what it will bring to the people again? That 1990 war. So the people start fighting anytime, the people get gone or start shooting. Already when United Party government came into power, those who are gone, they start killing people all over the place, going into entertainment center, they kill people. The men will take a gun, open it and shoot. So that trauma is there. It's not solely to protect President Bouaka. Who wants to harm President Bouaka? No president. Get me the president in this country that people attempted on his life, that his security came under attack. One, since the founding of this country, since Liberia gained its sovereignty. This is the country. This is the country in Africa, and I can say the only country that the people love their president. The people are the ones who are protective of the president. No borders in the world, the United Nations, the African Union, the Mana River Union, the AOU, whether it is still existing, no regional international body or bodies have that there was an attempt on a Liberian president. But we have that record of attempts in other countries on their president. This country, despite our disagreement, God hovers this country. When President Bouaka traveling, the people come outside waving. They even want to shake President Bouaka hand, but he's not the extrovert type. Unlike his predecessors, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf used to go and greet the people, shake their hand, talk with them. The people love the president. They love for the president. The love the people have for the president in this country is in their DNA. It's in the psyche of the people, the country. That dictator, insecure, scary ruler can move to this level. That's why the people around President Bouaka, I can see why Sekou Kuyateh said, I said there are 4 groups of people around him. One group wants him to fail. And the other group advising him to do all kinds of stuff so that it will go against him. What you don't need all these things here, country. you don't need it. Okay, this world was all. Let's see the next one. You don't need it. You don't need it. If we have a history If we have a history of president attempt on president life, then you say yes. That was, you can use that as a precedent or a president, to say, let's do this, let's beef up the security around the president. What are you doing? Why will it profit you? You can have all these things around you. If something will happen, it will happen. If God say that it end, that it end. That now all these things can prolong. No, all these things do not have prolongation. All of them, they don't have any prolongation. You can have all the things. If something were to happen, it will happen. Yeah. If God said, my man, at the end, all the people will say, be around. Yeah, the crown prince of Saudi Arabia, all that he had when the time came, over. All those guys, those presidential guys, or how they will call their people. Once you are doing what is right, the people themselves are your security. They themselves are your security. You don't need, look how these guys look. So scary for, if that is a word. All of them look. Just like a military junta. That's how Ibrahim Traore guys look. That's how Dumuya guys look. Dumuya. So President Bouakai chose to be the same. This is the organization of a dictator, a despot, a tyrant. This is it. This is the outlook. You think with all the men, you think if something happened, the men can really protect Bouakai? They didn't say they will be running for their lives. The thing, once you are in good rapport with your people, with your citizens, you don't need extra security. Presidents around the world, I will get that before the show ends, to bring the countries that presidents with limited security, and part of their security, the people. Simple. If you with the people, you will not be afraid to increase your security. Yesterday was wrong. Very, very wrong yesterday. But today, oh no, ain't wrong. It's okay. Chief, you can take all the men. If I were you, you can train 500 to 1,000 or 3,000 men to guide you all over when you come in. Be like Charles Taylor. Even Charles Taylor. Charles Taylor never had these kinds of men. Because Charles Taylor people, we used to see their faces. They used to just line the street, make sure they tell people go behind. That all they used to do when Charles Taylor coming. They tell us when we're coming up, they say, go behind. Go behind. You will see their faces. How they're gone. How they're gone. But you will see their faces. You go identify them. Imagine some people who knew some of them, they will call their name, and then you see the Charles Taylor person, like they will just wave. With these guys, I'm big here. It's the man own people. Some of his ministers then are afraid. You can. What you try to prove? So there is Bouakai Special Forces. And what I want you to stick in mind, if President Bouakai can reach to the point with the advice of his people to have his special presidential guy, imagine 2027, 2028, and then 2029. Remember now, from the onset, they started showcasing police people brought up men. They were brandishing weapons or showcasing weapons of different kinds. They were dressed all kinds of ways. So here is the presidential guy. Whether they trust EPS or they ain't trust EPS, what it seems, or it may not be true. But if you have the EPS constitutionally, the EPS is responsible for the president's protection. That's why they are VIP security. So if the EPS there, then they encourage the president to have special force or special forces. Then it means they trust the EPS. So it means with time, President Bouakai will do away with the EPS, and you will only have these military people guiding him. These are not police, these are military people. These are military. No one can look at these people and say they are police. They are not police, they are military. They are military. They are from the barracks. Look at them. What are they in? If you see any one of these people looking at them, is it your conclusion that they are police? That they are police? No, not police, they're in military uniform. The military uniform they're in. They're not in police uniform. In military uniform. And then you're standing with the crowd, in a crowd like this. Showing the gun directly. Well, look. His own people, some of his ministers were afraid. Some of his ministers were afraid. We know that for a fact because some of them, they hinted, we get friends within and amongst these people who can confide. You go to a celebration, the country's 179 Independence Day, that you carry military men or that dictator can move like that tyrant, that despot. They're afraid of their own. They're afraid. They're afraid. That fear. Fear can lead to this. When you see people beefing up security around them, nothing else but fear. That fear. Fear. I'm not saying that it's wrong to have security. No, every president should have security, and every president has been having security. All of our presidents, from Joseph Jenkins Roberts, the first president, down to former President Weah, they had security at different levels. But having the EPS, the presidential guard, constitutionally responsible, then you have special forces, military people. And what it means? It means that you are afraid of something. Nobody going to do anything to President Bouakai yet. Nobody. This country, from time to time, the people like the president, whether for or against, or either side of the political divide. The people like the president in this country. They are the ones who protect their president. No one has ever been, no political party has ever been. Have you ever heard, like we've been hearing in other countries, that this group or this political party pay XYZ or attempted this on the president? All that been happening, that been coming on, have been a fake news. They will come and say, how they call it, ambulance ran into the president convoy, but they will not show you that scene. They will say, the other president, there's other EPS or whoever did this in the president convoy, but you will not see anything. They will just make an announcement. So we now get to know that they were doing all of those things to arrive at this. So they say, oh, then the people say, but you see, oh, the EPS director said it last time, oh, the ambulance ran in the president convoy. Oh, the other EPS person did this in the president convoy. So the president ran to get special forces. That's not justification. It doesn't say that the people that you bring in can do anything. First thing on earth, you can trust no one. Nobody you can trust. Jesus Christ, the Messiah in his spirituality and humanity, he treated people in situations with skepticism. Even when he felt that his security was secure, what happened? They went against, and he was betrayed. And he was betrayed. Simple. The thing is, your fear can't do anything that when something is about to happen, it will prevent it. Fear does not prevent anything. Fear only makes you afraid. It only increases your insecurity. It gives you that impression that someone is after you or somebody is going to do something to you when nobody. You are your own fear because of what you're thinking or what you are doing. So let's assume that something happened over there. Like how they went to that place. Then they will start shooting all over. You know why those guys, they train those people and they're in their color clothes so that they know exactly how to move in. But we watch the thing in movies. The military will only come as a backup. Or these people, the special forces, will come as a backup. Why you think we watch movies, or how they call it, some of those movies like you see in the White House, Newton, all kinds of things. You see, all the securities, they in their color clothes, but they have everything. They're highly sophisticated. They can detect anything at any time. So if something happens, they can penetrate the crowd, and people will not know that that person is a security. They'll feel that every one of them escaping, but that person is moving after the person they suspected. And that's when you see they can move and spring on that person to the ground. Even as that, to get information, the onlookers can help that person. But when they see a military person coming with gun, no. Everybody, how you catch that person? In fact, the crowd will even have to protect that person because the person too is in. The way you're presenting President Bouakai, Yaka. I see you. Yeah. Just start to share this with you. So when I see the men convoy, the men get motorbikes. Oh, listen, President Bouakai came to the presidency the wrong time. He got the presidency the wrong time. His people think that he got it the right time. He got it the wrong time. Look at him. Look at him. You look at the president. You look at from where you sit. You look at the president. I see you. All right. So when I tell you people that Unity Party people, the wicked, they can only use people you will not believe it. Unity Party, for God in heaven's sake, man, and God in heaven's sake, so let me not say for God in heaven's sake. Despite our disagreement politically, but when something happens, you want to show your empathy. You want to show your empathy. You and the person may not be on the same political wavelength, but you want to show how sorrow, you want to express your sorrow for that person. You can have your disagreement, but you want to reach out to the person if the person is in a terrible situation. Samuel Jackson, when he came initially, the latter part of former President Weah's reign, when the Unity Party was coming in, when it became evident that they were clinching the presidency, he started getting along well with Unity Party people. They became good friends and they flow along. Fast forward, he changed his itinerary and he became supporter of opposition political party. From there, he went to CMC. He will identify with CDC. He will come up with some damning criticisms of CDC. And then he finds himself on the other side of the opposition terrain, called CMC. But he is a Liberian, and what happened to him was terrible. why it is true that you want to express yourself, but in certain situations, especially death, you don't go making mockery of it. When the news of Samuel Jackson's wife passing came out, you saw how Gregory Cuomo Unity Party moved in with the police, followed by Unity Party people saying that the man murdered his wife. He killed his wife. They were all on Facebook. So Samuel Jackson waited all along. He trying to get out of it now. None, according to him, none of Unity Party human beings, put aside the politics, if something happened, there are people who, they're not within our opposition reach, but we are friends. We know each other. Something happened to them, we reach out. We take telephone and call. We take transportation, morning. We drive there and say, oh, brother, it is well. Sister, it is well. We share your pains, your hurt. Despite we are different. They on the other side and we in the opposition. But over death, ain't no politics, ain't no division. That's what God meant when he said in Romans 12:15, he said, when your brother is sad, be sad. When your brother is sad, when he's weeping, weep along with him. That statement simply means it will happen to you too, and you will need people to empathize and sympathize with you. None of those guys, that's how Unity Party people look. None of them. None of them. None of them. So Samuel Jackson came out to tell everybody how ungrateful they are. So when he was talking it, I said, thank you. When we say you have different, he said, I will prove today that Unity Party is mean and evil-spirited people. None of them previously close to me. Yeah, none of them previously, meaning prior to his wife situation and other activities. None of them previously close to me have ever reached out to offer consolation. This is evil. I will name them from the president down. As if the people he called, whether they are strange to the Liberia people. Let's see. Joseph Nkatumu Boakai, I was married to your niece for 25 years. So he has marital connection. Joseph Nkatumu Boakai, I was married to your niece for 25 years. Ate dinner at your house. No sympathy. No telephone call. Jeremiah Kuhn, I always supported and gave you encouragement. You have failed to respond to my calls, even if I am calling you just for chat on politics. He said he called the vice president many times, and the vice president never answered his call. Listen again, oh. Listen again. That's what he sent out. Jeremiah Kuhn, I always supported and gave you encouragement. You have failed to respond to my calls, even if I am calling you just for chat on politics. Yomli Kanga, the next person, he said, your father is the patriarch of our tribe. I supported you intellectually and morally. I did free work on policy matters for you. Yet, you did not pick up a telephone to say sorry. The next person, A.B. Darius Dillon. I believe our relationship was based upon mutual respect and human values. Our interest in fighting drugs. You have never once called or expressed the desire to help me. Henry Pedro Costa. The next one. I would never explain what I have done for you to reach this stage in your life. You are a very evil young man. Da Costa he's talking to now. You are a very evil young man. Guilt or innocent, you can at least reach out to me. But you are supporting this lesbian chick who is obsessed with my life and was the person giving false info to Greg. And then the Liberian expression using the F word. Next person, Amos Tue. Samuel Jackson said, Amos Tue, I always respected you. I went to your father's funeral and stood with you at the grave. You have not reached out to say even hello, amen. Ego, human being. Che, that play library show. Yeah, politics. It's immature. Listen, it is a mental deficiency. I've just quoted to you Romans chapter 12, 15. He said, when your brother is sad, be sad, meaning share in his grief. When he's happy, share in his joy. And the reason for that is life. Life event is a cycle or life events. It's just in cycle. When it happened to your friend at this point and you rejoice, it's going around and it will meet you at your point. And you will need people to sympathize and empathize with you. The man said, Samuel Jackson said, when Amos Tue's father died, he went to the funeral and he will not do like most people would do after the funeral, they go home. That he joined him and the rest of the people to go at the grave. There he consoled him again. His wife died. He said, till this, Amos Tue had never taken a telephone to say, even this man here, despite we are against each other politically, but he was with me when my father's died. He was at the funeral. He was at the grave. Let me call to say, I'm sorry for the loss of your wife. Amos Tue, I always respected you. I went to your father's funeral and stood with you at the grave. You have never reached out to say even hello. Magdala Cooper, we are like family. My granddaughter spent many days with you. My granddaughter spent many days with you. I always supported your efforts. I talked to my friends in the New York Press Corps to go easy on you. There are two united parties who have reached out to me. I cannot call their names. One is at the mansion and the other in maritime business. And thank God you don't call the name, because if you call the name, they will sack them. The rest are evil, he went on to say. And many people, no human being, just protecting their current status or positions in life. Champions of my tragedy, the biggest supporters and friends, void of politics, just human emotion. Then he came to those who show concern. He said, Benini Wilfred Ure, Benini Wilfred Ure spent hours with me at my nephew's house to console me. Spent hours with me, Benini Ure. The next person, he said, Musa Hassan Bility, my trustworthy friend and good human being. That's how he described Bility. Trustworthy friend and good human being. Good human being is a reference for whether you know the person or not, whether the person supports you or not, whether the person criticizes you or not. Your concern is the person is as human as yourself. And that's how George Weah sees everybody and treats everybody. Then the next person, he said, Sir Joseph my right hand body. Ladies and gentlemen, it can be about politics in my tragedy. I lost a woman I genuinely love. I can't go all by myself. True, I got some money to live, but I never planned to bury a young wife in addition to mounting a legal defense. Because I seem strong doesn't mean I can carry this burden all alone. And I have to continue to help my wife's family in South Africa. She was the first child of her parents. So the conclusion of Samuel Jackson's reaction to Unity Party people, in my opinion, suggests that they felt that he was coming to beg them for money. Or if they called him to empathize and sympathize with him, he will ask them for money. The Unity Party people. But let something happen. The Amos 12, when his father died, we're not close to him, but we express our sympathy. Everybody commenting on Facebook. More early than when they were in all kinds of situations around here. I think recently somebody passed off. I think it's his mother or so. They went to Grand Cape Mount. We are friends on Facebook. We commented, consoling him. He's on that side, and I'm on this side. But death has nothing to do with politics, and politics has nothing to do with death. Anybody, it can come across anybody. But these guys are so heartless. That's what you see. Heartless guys. For them, they should inflict pain on you. Or when you're going through tragedy, they must rejoice, they must celebrate, they must laugh as if they are eternal. Nothing natural can happen to them. The Minister of Information, we criticize him. We disagree with him on issues. The Minister of Information lost, I think, about 2 or 3 persons. We send our condolences, but we disagree with him on issues. And all of you know how. We argue and disagree with him. But over death, no. Why you don't want to reach out? You're not human. Even Satan can empathize with people, the wickedest man. Then what about you? If you can't sympathize with anybody, then you're more than Satan. You're beyond Satan. All right, so let's go to Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, then we'll move, we conclude. They dropped something. All right? Well, Miata family, all of you know what she said. And so Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, I told you Ellen Sirleaf was going to react, and she did react. You know, she does not allow things to go. CDC people, that woman, you know her. Yeah, she takes her time. So she reacted to Miata family. And the way she reacted to Miata family, if I were Miata family, I will not talk anything again. Miata family reduced herself to nothingness. The things that are coming on her, too bad. You see, if you mind these Unity Party people, you allow them to use you as surrogates. As surrogate, you feel sorry for yourself because we're in an open world. People know about you, then you think you can say about people. I listened to something. Oh, that guy caused. He caused Miata family. No. Oh, he there with Miata family. Listen, let me say this thing. Look, you tell your Unity Party people, CDC people and their George Weah, you can't come between them. Your Unity Party people, you leave the people, you leave this man. These people, I think, look, the people they can kill for George Weah, they can slaughter anybody without regret. George Weah lives in the people. George, we are in the people blood, vein, skin, bone, marrow, soul. That I can say that Pigino, now he should be around 18, 20, 22, 23. Some of you have seen him. He said at the first warning he gave Miata, he will respond to Miata 5 times. But that first response, if I see that Pigino, I gotta beg him and tell you, let me so the first response here. No, I get it here, but I can't put it on. Oh, that begin there with Miata. Hey, they begin there with her. You know what I mean when we say in Labyrinthine? You all know that expression when they say there with. That begin. Che. They begin there with Miata family. I know if she listen or watch that begin, she will fall off. But that's what United Party people like. And you see more Ali there and the rest of the people, all United Party people, then they praising her. They putting her picture or Auntie Miata, you did well, you are a corner this and all the kind of thing there. But they don't want to know the response, the lashback that going on her, how it's demeaning to her reputation. Calling her all kinds of names. Saying all manner of things against her. The fact that they accomplish anyone tell you United Party is devil government. You can't believe it. The devil. You ain't know how Satan can behave. You ain't see Satan yet. You go to the garden. They sing in the Garden of Eden. You find that in Genesis chapter 3. After he used Adam and Eve, what happened? He left them with reputational damage. His aim was accomplished. He was gone. That is typical of Unity Party. Adam and Eve were left now to deal with the reputational damage, but he was gone. That's what happened. That's what you see. Miata family is left. Unity Party officials now, they left her to deal with her reputational damage. Meaning, the reactions that are coming to her is damning so strong against her reputation. See how they're dealing with her all over, everywhere. They're causing her all kinds of ways. United Party people can't do anything about it. As far as they're concerned, yeah, she's what they wanted to hear. She said it. But who receiving the backlash? They're not United Party. They're not United Party officials. She receiving the backlash that the people who say they're educated. Before you talk, before you say certain things about certain political figure, media figure, military figure, business figure, whoever, you have to look, you have to think about the backlash. You have to take into consideration what's going to happen if I say this of the man. This George Weah man is very popular in Liberia. He commands 80 to 85% of the people. The people, he lives in the people's psyche or the mind. This man, his people can do anything for him. They are ready to risk their lives for him at any time with no regret. So what do I do? What would be the reaction if I say XYZ about this man? I may be sounding politically correct, but reputationally, the feedback will be one that I will have to live with for years. So should I respond to this man? The journalist has asked this question. Should I? Some people, educated people, smart people, they will avoid that. They will avoid it. There are people who were asked about George Weah in the interview. They avoided it because they know. I begin cost that woman. Oh, it begin cost me at a family. Oh, God damn me. They begin say that the first part, the first of 5, and he warned me at that. He said the day The day he hear Miata call that name George Weah again. Meaning, as long as Miata family existing on earth, that name George Weah must pass through her life. When he can't answer, he must not hear when he will go for her. Well, the other one? Let me see if I'm there. At least for the one, for the one we can use Patrick. Patrick too a vest, but at least Patrick is more refined. Patrick is more refined. How about listen to Patrick? Patrick was refined. That piggy pie, he went raw. The one they call guata. Say, any you guata politics? Guata politics. The hala picking way. For Patrick Pie, Patrick did it in a refined manner. Let's have a listen and watch Patrick.
I'd like to talk about it. And in this case, we'll be addressing this old lady called Miata Famule. Kogolioko Oma. The time that you used to go join on BBC, you know, the International Broadcasting Corporation, the cooperation that supporting your join the internet, start talking crazy things about your own country. Oma that time, in Labrador now, or any part of the world Labrador living now, the dissemination of information is at a rapid or a fast pace. We can get information right now. As a matter of fact, we can do a background check on you to know what you're doing. Your music career is not very successful. Miata Famule. Your music career was not very successful. Had you not been in cahoots with the bureaucrats in Liberia, you would not be nowhere. Your father and your mother were influential people, thereby bringing you into the limelight. Not because you did anything on your own merits. You release one song that any Liberian can remember. Be the other one that we got to go struggle to know who the person. You're not even well recognizable to the point where when we see you on the internet, we got to be fishing for who you are. Kokulioko, that's your only record that people know. You can put your mom Joey Aden. What Joey Aden carry Labrador on your shoulder. Not only because of the bad president, whatever that y'all can talk about, all y'all can talk about. But Joey is single-handedly the only Liberian that put Labrador on his shoulder with his own finances and ran Labrador through the international community for recognition. Your ambassador days, 1990, 1991 did not yield any fruit. You are not successful at it, thereby creating the environment in that place because you guys are the bureaucrat, thereby creating the environment in that place where 1994 war was possible. 96 war was possible. You know what I'm saying? Me? So if you are that good of an ambassador doing your job, since you can keep him up in the music business where you belong, even though you're not that great at it, you never release anything more than Kokulioko. You are a failed musician. You release Kokulioko, and at the end of the story, 4 albums, you collaborated with somebody from South Africa. And at the end of it, we don't know you to be a high lamp or musical artist that produced music that affected people's lives. Besides singing Kokulioko, which the people your age group, our parents will be very, very pleased with because that's the nonsense they were listening to during those days. So we're begging you, the people that send you to come and see us, tell them, say, we're not there. Labrador now move on. We far play now. Kokulioko Oma. Put yourself in check. Yeah. You're the only Edo State woman who have held an ambassador position that will leave your country, go to other people's country, sit down there and talk rubbish about 3 presidents from your country. That shows your mentality. That shows your mentality. The other family, it shows your mentality. It shows who you are mentally. You didn't use that opportunity now to share the new light that Liberia is trying to shine. You didn't use that opportunity to share that light. No. You used it to sell Liberia back 300 years. Why you reminiscing about your ex-boyfriend, Charlie, and how much you knew your family, and you would never say something good about him? It sounds personal to me. We move on from Charlie. He asked his lock up. He ain't coming outside anymore, and that's it. We move on. You don't sound like a woman that owe that relationship. Miata family. That's something that we need to dig into more and know what type of relationship you have with Charlie. Not only that, a woman like Ellen Johnson, you also got problem with her because she gave you job. Yeah. Then you also got problem with the other person. You got problem with the other person. Oh my God, sit down. Nobody asks you. In your old age, you should be drinking your tea, relaxing. Don't come on the internet, be talking to them, won't ask you to talk. And be confident with it. As an older woman, you playing with your clothes while you talking, rubbing your finger, doing all the food in there. Nobody get time for that thing. Oh man, go sit down. Go sit down. Nobody call you yet. Be all the small If down for your parents, you'll not be nowhere in the Liberian society because your music career will fail. That because your parents' connection, that why they brought you up to permanence and your knee is even in some people's mouth. You sing it to inauguration, 1973, leaving from there, 1974, coming back to Liberia, 1975, you were already, small again, you were already on your way to Ghana to go chill for your first visit to Ghana war, man. You are not sinking. You didn't release your first, you Google song in 1974 and 75. 75, you are in Ghana looking for man. So go sit down, oh man, we're begging you. Who want you nothing from you yet? You didn't get nothing to say, go sit down. We're begging you. Thank you.
Oh, God. You don't play with these people and the George Weah. Unity Party, some of you government officials or supporters of the party, you have to be careful. You'll be like the smart ones. When they bring George Weah business, I beg you, go on outside with it. You must go talk it. When you hear people say that, not that they are afraid, not that they can talk, but they know the reaction that will come. The people told you that any attempt to say anything awful against George Weah, you have unleashed attack on them and they will reciprocate. And they will do it with no regret. Yaka.
Play useless criminal called Miata Family. A face palo, you now rub on your face as if to say somebody fall in mud. You're useless here. You confuse it, like you damn stupid, eh? You and George Weah are cry, you and George Weah are equal. Labro is older than George Weah. He only made 6 years as a president. Then you won't pull Labro fought on a head. Oh, because you feel your entire family order are very useless. The level he reached, no one in your family has ever reached that level, so you envy him. You see how you very stupid you are, man. You very crazy to speak that on George Weah name. They ask you about something, you get you're useless here, you ain't want to answer the question. Your duty was to dodge it. But I know each time you want to get fame, you will always mention George Weah. Each time you want to get fame, you will always attack George Weah. And I tell you, I say anyone you attack George Weah personally, I will come, I will insult you. The other family, I will reply you 5 times. They want to get the first one, I just one shot. The next time you go sit on any platform, you open your stupid and useless mouth. They tell you, we know you prostitute, you criminal. You criminal. You criminal. You stole the inauguration money here. Over 300,000 US. You stole that money, you ran away with it. You carry fake money down there. You made Braga almost die in the people here. We have that formula. You think we know a secret? You think we know a secret? Useless human being you that you won't put more on George Weah. They think George Weah achieve it. Even our closer on you, can be flow in President Weah.
Supporters of United Party, you people being in this country, you people know that very well. There is no man in this country, that the people are willing to sacrifice to go all out for. The people, even if Bouaka put more on the people president, you see how they can go for Bouaka. Then that you know what President Bouaka, the last time President Bouaka mentioned Weah, what did he say? He confessed, he said, oh, the people love the man. He said he loved by the people. He's popular. And that was sufficient for President Bouaka. President Bouaka, in all of his things, he's wise when it comes to Weah. So he's careful. He's very careful with his words. He's very careful with his descriptions. Because he knows the people will regret nothing. They will not stand down. They will face anybody. You're claimed to be educated. And you allow the people to fool you, use you, abuse you because I abuse them. They both say, oh yeah, look at what United Party officials doing now. Look what they're doing. They're praising her all over, they're putting her pictures, all praising her. But they're not concerned about the backlash. They did not say that about Miata family, why it is true that you're entitled to your opinion, but you should have dodged that question or avoided it, given the atmosphere. They say, oh, she was right. They're referring to her as iconic. But who is dealing with the soul? She's the one who receiving all of the bow and arrows, who receiving the bullets. She's the one. They're not United Party officials, even though she is a United Party person, but they are not receiving, nobody talking about them, nobody referring to them, that her name all over the place. Miata family, Miata family, Miata family. Bringing her brother inside, bringing her other relatives, everybody inside. Those United Party people, they are relaxed. That's why when you think that you know too much, common sense can cloud your reasoning. And you find yourself in, if I had known, because I know she digested it and said, if I know, I shouldn't have responded to Kofu Day question. All right. So let's go home with this now. The government can do it. They can burn the information that is out, that they try to convert the cocaine into powder. They can do it. They can do it. You know why they can do it? Because they confirm cocaine. They confirm it. The government did confirm that they intercepted and tested, and it came out with a full, undoubtful confirmation that it is cocaine. So the information that you're hearing, they're about to change this and present it as powder. Come on, man. Bernie Spears said, nobody's stupid. Don't allow the people to make you to think that you are stupid. It's not possible. It can't happen that way. That information gone. You know when you can do it that way? From the onset. In a space of 2-3 days, you change, you swap. Then you say, oh, this is what the people discover, and people took it to be cocaine. It's not cocaine, it's so powder. It dies right there. But not when it's taken for months. Months. You confirm it. Your president, Joseph Yuma Boaka, confirm it. The security people confirm it. Everybody confirm it. Then that night, you change and say that powder was discovered. Come on. You should be mad to reach that conclusion. Hey, no, you don't buy into that shenanigan. They can. The government confirmed that it is cocaine. They say it was tested and it came out as cocaine. They say it was tested and it came out as cocaine.
The investigation found that on Friday, June 5th, 6 boxes were prepared for shipment through the cargo system at the Roberts International Airport. The shipment was processed under false description of ordinary goods, declaring it to be Maggie Cube and Lapa. But from the beginning, there are already red flags, discrepancies in the declared weight of the product, suspicion from the screening images, and conflicted shipment documentation. Because of those discrepancies, the cargo did not leave as planned on June 5th. On Sunday, June 7, 2026, when the boxes were rescanned and physically inspected, a white powdery substance was discovered concealed in them. That substance was immediately turned over to the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency.
Please listen. Listen, oh, listen. That substance was immediately turned over to the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency, the United Party Police Director. They're not ordinary man. They're not Zogo. They're not marketer. They're not Lapapido. Nobody second guessing. The police director, United Party Police Director, confirmed. He said it came out, it was proven a cocaine. Listen to the man.
It was subsequently tested and confirmed to be cocaine. Bureau Drug Enforcement Agency. It was subsequently tested and confirmed to be cocaine. A substance was discovered concealed in them. A substance was immediately turned over to the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency. It was subsequently tested and confirmed to be cocaine. Then a substance was immediately turned over to the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency. It was subsequently tested and confirmed to be cocaine. Then a substance was immediately turned over to the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency. It was subsequently tested and confirmed to be cocaine. Then a substance was immediately turned over to the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency. It was subsequently tested and confirmed to be cocaine. Then a substance was immediately turned over to the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency. It was subsequently tested and confirmed to be cocaine.
The police director, Unity Party police director, confirmed to be cocaine. Confirmed to be cocaine. When we've gone several months, that now we change everything. Come on, we're watching movies. I told you to look for drug movies. They're all over the place. See how the guys do this, do such. When they want to swap, less than no time, it's done. These people are not sophisticated. They don't have the knowledge. Something has stayed with you several months. Everybody knows. You're confirming it here and there. You're investigating. You're charging people. You send into court. In your document, you said cocaine. Is there cocaine? Cocaine. Then at this point in time, when the investigation has gone to a higher level, that you will come back and say it was not cocaine powder. Come on, you should be in a dreamland to say that to anybody, and then they will agree that cocaine is off. The people who say they're controlling the narrative, they even know simple, elementary thing. You don't swap when it has gone all the way. We're into several months. We are seeing the little ideas we have talking to security people who have understanding of drugs, and then watching movies, because over the time, I just went from one center to another asking her for movies on drugs to see how the guys do the thing. They swap less than no time. Watch some of the movies on drugs. See how the guys, the cartel, how they operate. Fast, the strip network, pop. Exchange. When you open it, says so powder. But the original gone. They don't stay weeks, months. When the investigation is so strong, pressing against you, then you try to bring an idea to change it and say that powder. All those months. Come on, Chief. You can change that thing. You just live with it now. You charge people, you send them to court. And you saw the indictment sheet, the charge sheet. What in it? Cocaine. Not powder in it, cocaine. Why did you send people to court? Why did you go arrest? All of those things, all of the document, cocaine. There, this time you can't change and say that powder. So, because when you say a powder now, then you're trying to say, no, okay, so everybody go, you lie on people. What Bernie Spear, man? What my man Bernie Spear? My man has to come in. My man had to come in. So, that information, it can hold water, yeah? It can hold water. You don't worry about that. There's nothing they can do but to face the reality. You have to proceed, and we'll get to the end of this. Those who will be found guilty will be found guilty. They can't change anything. But here is it. The Unity Party government is having restful night, cozy day, and weeks. Because the opposition is not taking advantage of this. Everybody, with the exception of few radio stations, individual journalists, newspaper publishers. That's all. That's the people you are talking. You hear Kings FM, Front Page Africa, Rodney Sear talking here and there. Spoon, as much as we are not on the same wavelength, but on this drug issue, we are battling it. They're making strides too to make sure that we get to the bottom of it. Other radio stations. But the rest of the others, particularly the opposition people, they're sitting like nothing happening. Like there's no drug in the country. They're just sitting. Like nothing happening. None of those political parties making up the opposition you are saying statement from on this drug issue. Even the leading opposition political party, CDC, has never made a statement to this, least to talk about the other people. So the government having, Unity Party having a field day. And with this kind of opposition stuff, I'm not too sure of a strong opposition collaboration 2029. I should be very honest. We saw variables from the onset when the campaign was coming. We were talking the same way here and there. People were dismissing us. We're not perfect, but we read the political indicators. CDC, as the leading opposition political party, don't have to wait for the other parties to join in. In terms of the presidency wanting 2029, CDC is 75%, CMC is 15%, the other people, the 10% amongst them, upon anything. So let us do this hypothetical, meaning it's not a reality, just for discussion. Let's do the hypothetical that we in 2029, campaigning is on, election comes, and Unity Party claims it. The rest of the other parties, they will not feel hurt. They will not feel hurt. You will not see any hurt from CMC. You will not see hurt from MPC. You will not see hurt from any one of those. They will just say, okay, that's it. So we move on. We'll continue to checkmate the government. The party that it will hurt the most, CDC. You know why the other political parties would not? Just think about this hypothetical. They don't really have vested interest in the presidency as CDC has. Upon anything. Musa Belede doesn't win 2029, anything to him. Simia Fremo doesn't win 2029, anything. The rest of the parties, nothing. Anything to them. They will not feel it. They will not. Go back to that Grand Jide gathering. We appreciated that gathering. Personally, I like that gathering. Everybody coming together, because that's what we have always spoken of. Opposition, synergy, or togetherness. But it did not blindfold me of the curiosity to listen to the speeches. Those speeches that came out, they were incoherent. If you listen carefully, you see, it was say, okay, since we in this thing, we just can run on Bouakar's side. We're in opposition already, and Bouakar doing one or two funny things. Let's come together. Okay, George, we are CDC invited us. We go in there. I say what? So CDC has to take the lead. CDC is the target. CDC is the target. How many times must we say this? CDC is the target. Unity Party target is CDC, and CDC target is Unity Party. I bet you, let me give you another hypothetical. Meaning it's not a reality. You're just doing it for discussion's sake. Assume that CDC, not in the elections, the election, that CMC, MPC, and the rest of the other parties, they will have no time. How much they spend, whatever they do, their loss of the presidency, loss of finance in terms of expenditure, it will mean nothing for them. It wouldn't hurt them at all. I say, okay, that's the will of the people. President Boakai is re-elected. That is why, there you go. Must God kind of explain this political reading to CDC? CDC, Unity Party target is CDC. All the things that they are doing. You ever see them against MPC, CMC, other people there? No, that's CDC. They don't want CDC to contest. They are afraid of George Weah. They're doing everything to break George Weah in a cycle. They capitalize on everything that happened. Even things that did not happen. They manufacture and presented it like it existed. Today, God gave CDC more than yesterday, today, and CDC not taking advantage of it. One off, if not the main thing that CDC can grab on and disorganize this government, get everybody confused, unsettled that this drug issue. You know what? They're flowing all over the place. They're excited. They're saying all kind of things. They even put in that CDC drug, that CDC cartel, saying all manner of things because it's just a walk in the park for them. Nobody resisting them. Nobody saying anything. Like Unity Party just came to power today. If the opposition, and particularly CDC, was on the back of Unity Party, this drug thing, it will not be going hanky-panky the way it's going. Listen, we've seen this thing year in, year out, government after government. Me tell you, the international community cannot do for you what you ought to do for yourself. Meaning, if you give them reason to come in, they will not come. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, CDC in opposition, had the international community attention on Liberia. You know why? Because CDC in opposition kept the pressure. So they came in, they will call CDC leadership. They will communicate with opposition George Weah. At that time, he was in opposition. They will call the leadership to meeting. They were having meetings here and there. They were concerned because CDC in opposition was doing what they ought to do as opposition. So it was a burden. It was a pressure on Ellen. A couple of times, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf would call CDC leadership to talk. In spite of all the other intimidations and harassment and lying on Akara's grade that he had weapon, taking Molu to jail, to call them because they were consistent and they were fearless with the pressure. Here's another history. You were in power, CDC. Unity Party had the international community on their side, meaning they drew the international community attention. They were acting. What was the international community saying? We invested so much in Liberia. We don't want this. The country had just come from war, all kinds of things. They were moving here and there. They were calling for meetings. You're back in opposition. What do you need to do? Is it the responsibility of the international community to come fighting for you and you sit back? No, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Even out of Liberia, look in other countries. Take your time. Follow other countries' politics and see. The people move. The opposition move. Then the international community comes in and say, Mr. President, you have to listen to the people. Mr. President, you have to go to the bottom of this investigation, this cocaine discovery. Mr. President, you have to respect the rights of the people to assemble. But you can sit supinely as if nothing happening. And the people lambasting you, saying all manner of things against you, projecting you as the bad party, and they are the good one, and you sit down and do nothing. The people having a walk in the park will just drop something because you're not putting pressure on them. You're not putting pressure. If you are putting pressure on them, you think they will be writing and making fun of you, saying all manner of things all on social media and on other radio stations. They go from radio station to radio station, talking, challenging. They are both sitting down as if God has turned Liberia into a second heaven or auxiliary heaven. And things going to work. The people are getting ready. The people budget more than sufficient to do anything 2029 to stay on. You're not going in anything destructive, but owning up to your responsibility as opposition political party. That's what it is. Listen, it now move. MPC people will now move. CMC, they will now move. All the other parties then, they will now move. The men and they now get down. They say, okay, essential, let's just be around. But the people, they are not a threat. Unity Party ain't see them as a threat. Unity Party ain't see them. They see CDC, they see George Weah. And they're directing all of their missiles at George Weah and CDC. And CDC is sitting. This thing here, me, chairman for a party, my man, we're not waiting for George Weah to get approval. We're issuing a statement. We'll be on it. We'll keep them, we'll keep the pressure. Who told you these people? Who told you they are fearless? These people, they are afraid of CDC. They are afraid of the opposition. United Party ain't strong. United Party, that lesser party. They're strong, but they saw CDC strength in opposition. They saw CDC in its almightiness, politically speaking. They saw that strength. They know. President Bola, who sits now as the president of Liberia, he's afraid of CDC. He's afraid. President Bola is afraid of CDC. He's sitting there. They're cooking thing. Let's assume that CDC will stay in power. Look at the 100 million drugs. Look at the people. Look how the people took that thing. How they ran with it all over 24/7, doing all kind of thing, calling news conference from here and there, all kind of stuff, as if that was the only thing in this country. God says, CDC, I will do the same thing. I will create that same atmosphere that you capitalize on. You know how God can help you? When you're ready. When you're ready. God is in everything on earth. His senses, his eyes are not off. His ability is not off. There is nothing on earth that God is not aware of, that God cannot intervene. But look how he exists. God does not help anybody who will not attempt to help yourself first or give him reason to help you. Look at it. If you think I'm lying, go check it up and come back and say, St. Andrews, you lie. These are the people who God helped. God did everything, everywhere for them. They were just sitting down. He works with you, go first. Then he knows that you are serious. Then he comes in to help. That's how he works. Don't depend on the other parties. Chief, we're saying it again. Oh, God. Well, on the other side, we're saying the way you see that thing going. Sure, CDC will lose the election, Georgia will lose the election. They think that people doing so. They're saying this, they're saying that. You got it. Say, okay, we'll close our mouth. When it got rough, and I easy here and there. We saw the other one again. George, we are going on the side. Everybody following George, we are following the leader. We said, no, that is wrong. That's not how you run campaign. George Weah is one man. Get one man. Tessie, you get one man. Vice President, Joao Taylor, one woman. All the other people. Say you scatter yourselves. You go all around. You take complete hold of the country. Don't give Unity Party people any space to say anything. Everywhere, let it just be George Weah and what he has done and what he intends to do. They say, oh, when George Weah goes so, the multitude will follow him. Then they will leave the entire area on the other side vulnerable to Unity Party people. George Weah go on the other side. All of them say, no. That's not how you run campaign. They say, oh, we're not making sense. When they started seeing the reality now coming in, that's when they started having the second thought, as if I know it was late, very late. Very late. We're talking again. We're talking because we are back and we can get back. But it's not on a silver platter. It's not by just sitting and say you are the leading opposition party. Without acting, you have to act. Getting back is not easy. You are already there. And so to get back, it's not going to be a Herculean task. But it doesn't say it is not possible. Everything is possible in life. And that possibility comes with you acting. And if you call upon God, because along the way, everybody needs God. They say, good, you're moving. Let's go. Simple. What is it? The cooking thing? More than sufficient to capitalize on. Keep the people feet to the fire, pressurize them 24/7. And if people start jacking, they're confused. For every issue that comes up, for the opposition to take advantage of, he say that. The next day, another issue will come up, he say that. The next day, another issue will come up, they say that. That's the reason the United Party people saying the opposition weak. I don't go with that statement. No opposition is weak. But the few that you are afraid to come up because they're in power, so they say you weak. All right. I see you. I see you. Let's go. Let's take a few calls and then that's it. Yeah, please share the show. Share the show as many times as you can, please. Let's go. Time is of the essence. 0772 23 99 33 0886 30 44 97. The women's line 0777 9803 75. Hello. Hello, Chief. You are on the line.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Sam Andrew.
Good afternoon, Chief.
Yeah, for security reasons, I can't call my name. But you said it right, sir. You know, I don't know what happened to the opposition party. I don't know, especially CDC. Yesterday, we saw it here. These unity party people never gave CDC chance. I don't know why CDC says, saying so surprising. And I think, as Esso said, nothing is happening. This drug alone is more than sufficient to bring these people to, down to their knees. Hey, God, government cannot fight before. Opposition can move. Some of us, we just frustrated, we just frustrated because the way.
No, don't get frustrated. Keep fighting. Keep the faith, but I keep on the faith. Don't give up. Don't give up.
But the way that things going, sir, it can make anybody not to feel bad because this is the time. When will be the time? 2026.
Maybe they have their plan. They have their plan and time.
There's a saying that says, delay in time is a disaster, sir. I don't know what, it says, that enchantment they did on CDC, that's why, making them to be so, acting like that. I don't know. So, it's so frustrating, because some of us, we were here, we saw what happened. The people didn't get us chance. So why we should get a chance?
All right, Chief.
The weekend shouldn't rest. The people shouldn't rest too.
All right, Chief. Thank you for calling. Have a nice day. Thank you. Let's get out of Liberia. Hello. No, sorry, your line cracking. You have to change your location. Change your location and call back. Your line is not conducive. Women's line. Hello.
How you doing, Mr. Andrew?
I'm doing fine.
I'm patient great from people no more concern that pray for justice. Mr. Andrew, what's the opposition weak? You are now me the CDC are now weak. But the government that will get in power, Mr. Andrew, that stubborn government, when you're dealing with devil, you can be stubborn. That's stubborn government. When I post CDC, we but when they call for protest, so we can go expel our grievance. The people can go and I'm
No. The opposition has never called for a protest. Molba Mole, that is stand, solidarity and trust for a new day, civil society organization. That has never been a CDC or opposition protest.
Mr. Andrew, okay, when they call for protest, how many people can go over there?
But
people can be there.
No, but that is not a CDC protest. It's not CMC. It's not MPC. That thing that the people get around. You have to be smart around here. You have to be smart. No, hold on. You have to be smart. I've heard that argument. People argue, Molba Molu corporate. No CDC people went there. No, as if Molba Molu left CDC. Molba Molu is in civil society It's different from the opposition calling for a protest. If the opposition call for a protest and nobody show up, then that's when you can argue that. But a civil society protest is different from an opposition protest.
Opposition are now weak. The government will get very stubborn. The opposition are now weak.
Madam, I beg you, man. Hello, how you say government stubborn?
Thank you very much.
Hello.
Good afternoon, Mr. Andrews.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Mr. Andrews, I'm Spencer Mohammed, and I call for Down Coast Spoon Hill, Wingtown community, a member of Concerned Librarian for Justice. I want to thank you for your deliberation. Firstly, I will start with Miata, then I end with the opposition. I want to commend Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf for ably responding to that regular statement coming from Madam Nyapamole. I think the former president just capped it all and just exposed all to the Unity Party people that indeed this woman's statement has no bearing. That's why the woman responded the way she responded. Thank you very much, but I enjoy it. That's why we always give you Thomas. Yet I come with the opposition. Look, Mr. Andrew, for me, I believe that the opposition is not weak. Why am I saying that?
No, I'm not saying that the weak. I said the people say that's what Unity Party people say. The weak.
To them. I said, yes, where I came from. The issue with Liberia is like the issue with the two prostitutes in the Holy Court, where two of them got pregnant, and then unfortunately for the other one, she wrote over a baby, and then the other baby died, and she took her friend's baby, and then she tried to possess it and went to Solomon, and King Solomon had used to use his wisdom to decide the case. That's what is happening to Liberia. So for the CDC, we have investment here. President, we have there's everything in this country. But for Jota Nima Boakai and Unity Party, what do they have? Nothing. These guys are here. These guys want to destroy the country. So in my mind, let the baby live, meaning let Liberia live. Let Liberia be hysterical. We must be very, very mature and meticulous in addressing this issue because we have something to protect here as compared to Jota Nima Boakai. But I was in government for 42 years. Why you are living on the alley?
All right.
Look at President, we are investment. Look at all the children that work on the president. We are looking at investment. They have something to protect more than the party. More than they were renting around here. They begin a better hour. So the people were desperate and want to destroy our country. So in my mind, the opposition today is teaching Unity Party about maturity.
All right, Chief.
To be mature.
All right.
Today, the opposition is teaching them of maturity. That's why you see the country moving and they are dying and going down their own dream with their lives is scheduling with them. They try low, can defeat them. Then what's the argument here? This man is dead. It's just a matter of time. They're going to get it out. Thank you very much.
Thank you too for calling. Have a nice day. So you have to know the difference. The Molba Molu, the Civil Society, not Molba Molu, but STEN, is called Solidarity and Trust for a New Day. You people are not following the trend of the politics, or sorry, you're following, but you're not really understanding. Molba Molu, or the Solidarity and Trust for a New Day protest, it's not a requirement for opposition political parties to join. That is a civil society. Molba Molu is not a member of CDC. Molba Molu was a member of CDC. When Molba Molu or STEN, Solidarity for a Trust and for a New Day, and other political parties organized the protest, you want to know, and that is the question some of you should have asked, did they invite formally CDC and the other opposition political parties to be a part, and they refused? Or they call a national protest with the right under the Constitution to assemble? You have Unity Party people making you to believe that it is an opposition protest and the opposition people refuse to go there. Come on. No, that is not. Every time STEN, together with the other civil society organizations, call a protest, that is not an opposition protest. A civil society organization is not an opposition political party. It is a civil society, meaning their role is to checkmate the government, raise issues with the government, make suggestions, and a lot more. They are not opposition political parties. Since President Bouaka came to power and the Unity Party, the opposition has not called a protest. You've had, I think, about 2 or 3 from and by of the Solidarity and Trust for a New Day in collaboration with other civil society organizations. But they will make you, after the protest, and you hear them say, oh, none of CDC officials go there. Why George Weah ain't go there? George Weah go sit down in America. And the other person ain't go there. Eugene Nambele ain't go there. That accept that CDC is sunny. And then some of you will believe it too and say, oh, the opposition. That's not opposition protest. You want to wait? Let the opposition political parties call a protest and see. If nobody turn out or the turnout is very low, then your argument will have substance. But that is civil, that not opposition political party. Know the difference between opposition political parties and civil society organization. You, one person can call a can protest. I who you Sam Andrew when I get also I read my placard. I stand in front of the executive marshal. I go to the police station or foreign affairs. I protesting. Would they say that would they say that opposition political party, or because Sam Andrew work with an opposition radio, so Joe we am gonna go and stand side? Sam Andrew, Eugene Nambwe can't stand, Musa Ability can't stand, the other people can't stand. Then it's no. If all the opposition political parties come together, which I said last week, and last week I told you I said something is being cooked. I said something is being cooked. And one off, when I said it 2 days after, I think it was this week. Today is Wednesday. Yeah, it came out Monday. I said it last week. That something is being cooked by the opposition political parties. Something is being cooked. A given representative hinted of a pending nationwide protest. A pending nationwide protest. So you get to know, you get a hint. So let the opposition political parties call that protest, and see whether people will not get outside. I told you that protest, it will bring the entire country to a standstill. President Baka will get afraid. You might will carry him in something and play because when opposition protests about that, they can run him to a given place, go sit down. So that thing that you don't buy into those people politics. With Moba Molu stand. They nobody go there, and you see them they showing from the morning picture. You see them showing all around. They say, oh, the place are empty. Then you get scared too. You believe it. Those people they know how to reason. They put feet they can play on you, but they can play on us because just as they educated, just as they can reason, we are educated. We can reason too. Let the opposition political parties come on. CDC, CMC, MPC, and the rest of the guys call for a rally. You will see when you see human being, you will give up. A police director, then the rest of the people, I say, I beg you, Joe, we are hold your phone. You can't let talk. You must kill my name. Don't call me Sam Andrews again. Call me anything you want to call me. So that thing you don't buy those things. You're listening to all. Mobile Molu stand court protest. None of the opposition, they're on an obligation to go there. They're civil society. They're not opposition political parties. Simple. Hello.
Oh, G-Spanner.
Yes. What's up, G-Spanner? Let's hear you.
Thank you. You got it right. Look, continue with boss. Don't worry. You got it right?
Yeah, listen. Let's see.
Okay, I'm saying continue with boss in this country.
What kind of series? When you just learn everything at the airport, what kind of series you started with?
I just arrived this morning, my brother.
Yeah. Because I thought you to understand you. I said, oh, we have a white lady on the line.
Okay, so they continue with boss. The next year we continue with boss. Yeah, watch and see. Come to the 7, you will see. What will happen? Everything they say, my son, don't worry. CDC will come for protest, and you will see the street will be jam-packed. You will see it for yourself. Don't worry, my child. A space for protest, we can be there. The men they can be howling. For physical for protest, you will see out that day. We will come out like an egg of a bunker ball, and bunker will get chimney. In a rehab community, in a papa. You understand that day? Then watch and see. I'm giving you living history.
No, but I know about it. I know about that whole stuff. Okay. I know, my Zizi. I know.
Okay, you're a journalist. You watch and see my son. Just be there. You watching. You will see it happening. The people will roll in out for whole day to go hide themselves. And they will call for people to sit around the table to discuss with what guy. That was time will tell them they drugs you brought. They will tell, oh, who brought the drugs? Because you're calling your son, he has his funny. And they are insulting, oh, what is up? Look, Sam Andrew, tell them to stay one. You will see protect facility. What we are speak, we are not speak. We don't want to know. They will say that, but tell them to the stay when you are simple. In this country, people will just CDC. They still will be jail back. And they will get fed up with us. Here they say that anybody outside, who are outside there? Who are outside? But I can't protest now. It's not opposition protest. I can't protest opposition protest. Because the next thing our peace, so you can to help us. As for Liberia, what you keep for the group. In that CDC, in that ANC, you only put a friend of church, we are back for the project we are. The effort of him. So everything they thought they put in me inside. But I know that only men that can fix it them. That get careful, that can fix it them, men to men. They can fix it them. They know we are strength. And they know the CDC strength. 70 the plan, 60 they flying away. Well, they bring drugs in the community, those are 60 brought drugs. And now they keep the chip, we're not teaching and now they around. We are picking cookie. Our culture because not content now. Because BBC is there. Because Akatura is there. Don't tell me. They want to pop Kevin and Labrador. We don't have a good man now. In the court. So our culture on a breaking state.
All right,
so my friend, what they see.
All right.
That day you hire in the cover. When we come all that day, you hire yourself in the cover. I'm telling you.
All right.
Give me a let me say my chance.
All right.
You get relaxed.
Okay. All right, man, series. Miada, Ellen. Well, why Ellen told Miada? She said she ain't got time for her. Ellen said. She said, I ain't got time for Miada. Hello.
Hello.
Elena Bawomo, yeah, let's hear you, madam.
I'm Angie, edition concern Liberian for. Thank you, Mr. Andrew. They draw say that Bwakason begin. They protest saying that I'm begin to draw. When I say anything, we rushing to protest. Don't know the JCDC protest. Like you are some more with. So right now we then they say yes. We are the federal president. We are everything to the same president we are. That go down and she get that to ask a question you want to come for more president. She can compare herself with president we. She can compare us to a president we are. The last elected the last president we are. Or when some of them work for president we but I won't very good. No any they so wanted to yes you ready for
all right.
When she told she better mark or they don't mark my leave see coming up.
All right, all right, thank you. Let's go out of Liberia. Hello, you're on the air. Yes, hi.
Yeah, good afternoon, Sam Andrews.
Yes, good afternoon.
Yeah, I'm Mitch Lamokuma and I'm filming from Woodbridge, Virginia, the USA. Yeah, I want to highlight few points from what you pointed out. But first point has to do with that of Miata family or doing an interview or statement of what former President Weah. It was very derogative, and then she didn't present herself as a state person. Yeah, that was very, very rude on her part towards the former president. And the last step I leave the line has to do with the opposition community in keeping the government feet to the fire. I heard my brother Spencer Mohammed saying that the CDC as a former ruling party has something to protect. No, the government is on obligation to protect more the state. What is very frustrating is that there are many in the United Party regime are giving the opposition many reasons to keep the regime to the fire, keep their feet to the fire.
There are many lapses. When CDC took power, I can recall as far back at 2017, early 2018, United Party started with 16 billion. They started with 25 million more assets and fabricating stories every day. And then CDC government were proactive in working with them, giving them reason, convincing them that we can move the country. But now it's on the contrary. United Party, there are many lapses for facts that the opposition can engage them. Engaging the government doesn't mean you have to demonstrate or you have to burn down building, but engage on the issues. There are many issues that the United Party are forced short on, and now the opposition need to ask the government, demand the government answer. Now there are conflicting issues surrounding the trust, but no one is there talking. Only you, the journalists, only you, a few journalists are talking, keeping the government feet to the fire. While the opposition, they are sleeping. It's time now to wake up. They wake up, you guys can talking all alone. And then the opposition said it, and then they want United Party to take power over the 2029. I don't see it possible. Thank you, man. Thank you.
All right. Have a nice day in the United States. Let's go this way. Hello?
Thank you, man. Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon.
Yeah, thank you, man. This is Edmond Carr, and I remit a visually impaired pushing for the return of President Weah, a proud member of concerned librarian for justice. The recent sometimes you will see party entering in the Liberian people when it comes to protest, because the way in which the people started their governing process. So whenever protest is announced, the Liberian people might.
No, but listen, Emoka, protest is not the only thing. Protest is not exclusively or only going on the street. Protest is also raising concern against, speaking, releasing statement, talking about. That's protest. Protest is not only people going on the street with placards and chanting.
Of course, but most of them were in Liberia when they talk about protest. That's why the Liberian people would think that you should get on the street and be here and there. But I can say this to you. There are a whole lot of things that are happening from beyond the scene when you come to the opposition community, most especially our own party. And some of these same questions that can be raised, these kind of genuine questions that can be raised by people that are like, yeah, we can take it to those meetings and we say them, and the response that we are getting, it is very, very good. And some of the preparation that we are making, it is very, very good. So I would say to the Unity Party people that the soup is boiling, and very soon that soup will be distributed, and we will see who will eat their own and who will waste their own. It is cooking, and I can say this. Those of you that are not yet with us, we can show this to you that the President Weah that you knew 2005, 2011, 2017, even when he turned over the 1% to the Joe Biden, we are getting the assurance that it will not be the George Weah into the 2029 election. So entering into 2027 and 2028, you're going to see a different, because most of the guys are going to be speaking now. They are thinking about their indictment, what will happen to them. So by 2027, 2028, you will see different things happening in this country. When you come to Miata, or say anything, I enjoy the guys. And that is why I was saying to my people, don't take that your ratty baby and stack up into it. Because the people think that they can fool us. The people think that they can play with us. You as an elderly woman, your brother is a rebel. He participated in a war. Then you want to make Charles Taylor alone to be the ugly person during the war days in Liberia. Then what happened to your brother? Your brother is the power. You didn't even mention it. You sat on the platform and make it a thing to denigrate killing leaders in your country. The Ghanaians can do that? No, they don't do so. So before you talk about somebody's legacy, what is your legacy?
Okay.
And if I was saying somebody on their platform, they want to follow, the woman would say, like I said, but you know what it means for you to say Ellen on legacy? They were only George Weah.
All right.
That was a slap in the face of Liberian post who rejected him. We couldn't push it on their Bureau platform. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Carr, have a nice day. Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Sam Andrew.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, I'm Peter David Casa, Governor under the streetlight in Lower Johnsonville, an outstanding member of the Concerned Librarian for Justice. Mr. Semagri have just said it right, and the opposition needs to organize a mass protest against this particular and the Turret regime so that we can beat things into their heads. That's a reality. All the opposition leaders come together. Because the government is like the drug issue. I can't reluctant because opposition's communities are not speaking. So a mass protest on this particular drug issue is one of the instruments that opposition need to use. And lastly, the issue of people call her anti-Miata family. I think they will must be speaking out of frustration. These are the people that portray themselves yesterday to be an intellectual and a progressive. And you see, when you look at the disastrous state that Liberia is formed in, Miata family cannot be an exception. She cannot be exempted from that. The Civil War, they are the one that playing the war against Doe because that antiquity idea they brought against Doe said Doe was illiterate, as such he could not, and he was not competent to serve as a president. It's in America, fascist did Ellen Johnson study, her brother Isbama family, all of them brought war into this particular country that took away 250,000 Liberians and destroyed the fabric of our society. And they sat down at that time and amalgamated war against themselves. So we are coming into the political light and to create the avenue and open the eyes of the Liberian people on good governance, on the achievement, of the Liberian society. She's angry. But
all right.
Sister, your frustration, you die with it. We will still come back, come 2029. And you will sit in Ghana, just a small and inaugural money. Store that money, you left from here, you sitting, living in Madran in Ghana. You are going to live with that particular trauma, that psychological trauma. You put are the one that destroyed this particular country. So are you also telling that what
all right, Chief.
we had unleashed Jose Imabwaka to the Liberian society who is desperately performing? Today we're discussing cookies. More than 317 million cookies.
All right, Chief.
Distract our mind.
Okay, sir.
People that
hello. Hello. Yeah.
Thank you. I call from District 6. My name is Lawson Augustine Sagashos Wisdom. And let me say thank you for the top of this evening on discussions. So my attention I meant to the statement made by Miata's family. I think that statement in my own investigative opinion is unscrupulous, very childish, very unprecedented because someone who got President Waka trusted and turned internet on the phone. She went to just organize a store. She went to store. And because she was now, investigating what I used to do, who attacked the baby, that's the reason why she goes to in Accra to make some reckless and useless statements. People who claim to be as an intellectual, something very irresponsible, that tells you that that tells you know how to get that degree. You understand? How can you compare President Via administration with the current government? So you see, the government is the only of the government has still own the leadership of the Waka. They should be honest. Because some of them, they own the umbrella of the Waka who speak to money. That's the reason why they want to army. Denigrate President Wia. So that's it. So
all right, Chief.
Each of the opposition in the circle. No,
yeah, just be snapping.
We are not very serious. That's the reason why the government could choose to lie to our poor people. Because in the past regime, you see how the Union Party been criticizing the government. You see it been criticizing President Wia. But now we are in opposition. We care less than not putting those people to the power. That's the reason why you see the record the continue having the country.
All right, Chief.
School,
thank you too for calling. Thanks to all of the callers. Let's read a few comments and then we are out for today. Thanks for the time spent together. A few comments. Fred Nimne Dix said, Unity Party already started their campaign for 2029 and seditions are sitting down waiting for President Weah again. Royal always varied we CDC, we do use unscrupulous behavior like the cocaine paradise did to come back. President Weah is coming back to state power. A comfort, Harrods, CDC are not ready yet. They are making us weak. They are not taking anything serious. Mark Kumen, no one is talking about destroying any country. We are talking about the issues at the doorsteps of the regime because Unity Party didn't give us chance to run the country in peace. Unity Party had fallen short along the way, which are many reasons for CDC to engage. Grable governor said, so far, we are not seeing any political action against this drug-dealing government. I am deeply surprised of CDC. And Otaka Kahu said, Bouaka knows that after 2029, he will need President George Weah to change his battery charger. Emmanuel Bro, this guy, it's really speaking my mind. I couldn't tell Miata family more than what he is saying to her. All right. Great. We're already into time, so that's it. That's it. Thank you ever so much for the time spent together. You spice up the show with your comments. I appreciate all. You want to join us at 8 this evening when the man of the hour, the doctor, the teacher of the land, the light of the nation, the evangelist, and Anthony at Law, A.B. Weah, is in with Face the Issues. You don't want to miss it. And then tomorrow morning at 7, when Israel Weah is in with Let's Talk About It. You don't want to miss out on it also tomorrow morning. If God permits, we're back tomorrow. This is how we go home. We are not stupid. They want us to think stupid. We know that they are stupid and we aren't stupid. We will not think stupid. We will not act stupid. We go home with burning spear, not stupid.
From the latest news to your favorite tunes, we've got your back morning, night, and afternoon. Join our family, connect with your crew. Kings FM 88.5.